Hey, everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Chargers. With that, let's get out to Dignity Health Sports Park in Southern California as we welcome in our guys, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. We're about 12 miles south of the future home of the Chargers at the current home of the Chargers, and that's Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Tonight, it's a preseason matchup here in Week 3 between the Seattle Seahawks two former division rivals in the old AFC West. The Seahawks and Chargers are underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The man under center for the Chargers, Tyrod Taylor, in his first season with Los Angeles. And you remember that he was the starter in Buffalo for their playoff run in 2017. And he signed with Cleveland a year ago to help in the transition to Baker Mayfield. But he got pulled in the middle of Week 3, and from there on it was Mayfield's show. But now Tyrod Taylor has a chance with the Chargers at 30 years of age. Here's Justin Jackson, second-year man out of Northwestern. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Taylor now to throw on third down. McKinnon here, it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down. They run on first down with Jackson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd and 11 now. Taylor. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. Taylor able to use those legs of his to pick up a first.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
Melvin Gordon, the two-time Pro Bowler. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they are going to separate.
But if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissic. And right away, he lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
You know, if this is the regular season, partner, we'd be talking about just how costly a mistake that was, but probably good for him to get it out of his system right now.
Just hope for him and the team.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
They'll run with McKissic. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And Jennings has it. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Gary Jennings, 60 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else. And
he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. And the offensive starters here for Los Angeles.
One great reason for optimism for the Chargers moving forward is Hunter Henry, their tight end. Didn't get to play a whole lot in 2018 due to injury, but when he's healthy, a very effective downfield threat and a guy that defenses have to keep an eye on.
So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Wide open, it's Allen, complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. On second down, Taylor's throw incomplete. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that...
Taylor hit. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. He's at the 50. The 30, the 20, 10, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now 14-0. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's Jackson. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
They were looking good on 2nd down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. To throw is Taylor. Green with a catch left side.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Throw to the right here to Gordon. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. The Chargers, a team that's really been plagued by poor field goal kicking the last decade or so, but I think they feel they've solved their problems with Badgley.
I would say so. He went 15 for 16 in 10 games last season, undrafted out of Miami. And remember, he had 5 field goals in the playoffs against the Baltimore Ravens.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. Credit the tackle to Brandon Mebane.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Throwing now is Gino. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. These offensive starters still out there in the 2nd quarter. You would think the plans for them to at least play into the 3rd quarter, if not all the way through it.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the 3rd quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer, but I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the 4th quarter.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Here's Carson. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Taylor. Incomplete. He was looking for Malachi Dupree that time. And that takes us from second to third down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Rolling to his right. He may try and run for this. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now fourth down. On is the Chargers punter now. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And following that punt, which turned out as well as it possibly could have, this offense has 99 yards to go to the other end zone.
And defense is frothing at the mouth with a chance to get points themselves. If they tackle a runner in the end zone, safety. And if there's a holding call in the end zone, that's also a safety as well. So either way you decide to go on offense, you've got to be careful.
On second down now, it's Carson trying to run inside, but nothing there. Credit the tackle there to Uchenna Nwosu. On third down, Carson. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Chargers getting set to go. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Now they got to get to the line quickly.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. They will run it. It's McKissick. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's got his man on the crossing route. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Now Gino on first down. Man open left side is Brown. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And picked up by the Chargers. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've come upon half. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Our starters likely to be out there for the 3rd quarter as we get back underway in this second half. This one taken from the 7. Well, Seattle now ready to march onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Well, they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one. Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night.
Taylor hit. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. On is the Chargers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That would be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. Only a yard on the pick up there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And they begin this drive in very precarious field position inside their own 5.
And remember, this is a defense that's already scored once in this game, so you've got to really take care and make sure that you're blocking these guys to try and wedge the ball out from the shadow of your own end zone.
Hands to the up man. This is wide. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be second down.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting units still out there for this third quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the second half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason, you want them to go into the half, cool down, and then come back out and warm up to start the third quarter like you would a regular season game. That's exactly what they wanted to get done.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type...
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A 4-yard touchdown run, and the Seahawks add on to their lead. A 1-yard run on first down, another yard that gets him into the end zone on second down. Maybe not much for the yards per carry average, but hey, 6 points.
Yeah, bottom line is it doesn't matter there. You've got to find a way to wedge it into the end zone. Yards per carry, that's out the window. How do you score? And on the second down, they had something going. They got a yard before. They thought they could do it again, and they got it done.
This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Unable to stop KJ right there as he slips by for the sack.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches, I always say, guys, you've got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get-off on the snap, jump too quickly.
Here's Stick looking to throw. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Well, at this stage... The game in the second half, down 3 scores. I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Jatavis Brown there on the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Seahawks on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Now a give right side. It's Carson. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He connected on his first, this from 41. And Myers able to knock it through. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also... reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
On third down, it's Stick. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Bobby Wagner, the former second-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's McKissick, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose, and picked up by the Chargers. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. So hold the phone here, Charles. I've kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go. But stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead now down to 20. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. A carry now for McKissick. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. It appears they'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be 3rd down.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
It's a 1st down following a gain of 3.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. So the victory here for Seattle, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now...